I love it. All right, as everybody's coming on in, y'all are welcome to come on in, but I'm going to go ahead and start. I need a motion, please, to come out of closed meeting. We went into closed meeting for discussion of matters covered under item A1 of section 2.2-3711 of the Code of Virginia 1950 as amended, pertaining to discussion or consideration concerning 1, religious exemption, 3, student matters, 3, new hires, 1, change in status, 2, resignations, and 1, retirement. Thank you, Dr. Garrity. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Fletcher. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, awesome. Now we need to certify that we only discuss those things just mentioned.
I certify.
I certify.
I certify.
I certify. And then we need to take any action from closed session.
Madam Chair, I move that we uphold the discipline committee's recommendations concerning students numbers 2025-12151 and student 2025-12152.
Thank you, Ms. Whittington. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Dr. Garrity. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Wonderful. Now we need a motion to approve the agenda, please.
Move we approve the agenda as presented.
Thank you, Ms. Whittington. A second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Fletcher. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right. Now, if you'll please join me for a moment of silence for prayer reflection. Thank you. And if you'll join us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, excellent. We have a full house. It's so good to see you all. Up first, we have some recognition here, please. We'll start first with ACHS student recognition and Dr. Ramey.
Good evening.
Good evening.
The first student that we would like to recognize is Allie Brown.
No.
Brown. Oh my goodness. It's backwards. See, now I know how it got messed up. Right? Yeah. Abby Brown. Abby Brown truly exemplifies what it means to be a Raider. As president of the SCA, she works diligently to build community and strengthen our school culture. Abby plays a major role in planning pep rallies, school spirit weeks, and assemblies, always bringing her flair of youthful and energy and compassion. Hudson Crowder. Hudson, yeah, come on.
Do you want them all up right here? Do you want them?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Face your platform.
This is Allie. I'm sorry. I know she's Allie. I promise I do. Sorry. Hudson. Amelia County High School proudly recognizes Hudson Crowder for his outstanding contributions to our school community. As the current ACHS hype man, Hudson brings unmatched energy, school spirit, and positivity that unites students and staff alike. Hudson also attends homeroom daily with the exceptional education class, where he intentionally builds meaningful relationships while supporting the development of social and life skills. He even has his own nonprofit called Forever Buddies. His consistency, kindness, and genuine connection with students exemplifies the true spirit of inclusion at ACHS. Aiden Delaney. Aiden is the type of student who is truly a joy to have around, always bringing a positive attitude and a smile to those he encounters. He is eager to volunteer and demonstrates strong leadership on the football, wrestling, and track teams. He is both respectful and studious, consistently influencing those around him for good. Aiden's character, work ethic, and willingness to serve make him a positive presence and a deserving example of excellence within our school community. Sean, there's Sean. Sean has truly exceeded what it means to rise as a Raider through his involvement at school. He consistently goes above and beyond as a leader in DECA. He is also an active supporter of SCA events, a dedicated volunteer with Forever Buddies, and a reliable helper during the Medford Games. The next student we want to recognize is Rylan Gross. Rylan here? Okay. Rylan is a senior enrolled in the Governor's School of Southside Virginia. He is a STEM major. Rylan not only excels academically, but on the football field as well. He was selected as first team all-district football offensive line for the 2025 Raider football season and represented Amelia in the Big River Rivalry Football All-Star Game. Rylan was also this year's winner in the VFW Voice of Democracy essay contest. Emily Patterson. There's Emily. Emily embodies what it means to rise. She is held in high regard by her peers, teachers, and coaches alike. She strives for excellence both in and out of the classroom as a Governor's School student, beta officer, and all-state volleyball player. Beyond her many achievements, Emily leads with humility, integrity, and a genuine commitment to uplifting those around her, making her a role model for our entire school community. Congratulations. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ramey, and all those amazing ACHS students. Next up, we have FFA Convention. Miss Stargett, I see you out in the hallway. Oh, no, are you here? You moved right on here. Okay, all right, well, come on out. Not all at once. There you go.
Sorry, order. Good evening. Members of the Amelia FFA chapter represented our county at the 98th Annual National FFA Convention and Expo. This is our slideshow showcasing our experience. On the long drive from Virginia to Indiana, we get to see gorgeous views. We rode through the mountains of West Virginia and right over top of the Ohio River. With our several snack and bathroom stops, we grew so much closer.
One of an FFA member's favorite things to do at Nationals is explore the expo and shopping mall. Where else can you be surrounded by people from all across the country? Amelia FFA members made valuable connections with schools, employers, other members, and even got to meet some celebrities along the way. As a marching band member, along with FFA member, one of my dreams is to be a part of the National FFA Band. While completing one of the tasks at the expo to earn a collectible pin, I met a National FFA band member. We connected over FFA as well as music, and he actually inspired me to keep my passion of being in the National FFA Band.
As we've done every year I've attended the convention, we went to the world's toughest rodeo. And we got to see behind the scenes of how the animals are cared for in the pens.
We got there early before the rodeo started so we could get signatures from the cowboys and cowgirls and also get a chance to spin the wheel and win really nice prizes from Kelly.
During our trip to Indiana, we attended the general session. This included hearing from keynote speaker Eric Jackson. Mr. Jackson empowered FFA members to never let fear stop them from achieving success. The FFA banding course also performed showcasing national FFA members' talents.
During our time at National Convention, we went to the Indianapolis State Zoo.
While at the zoo, we saw a variety of animals, including elephants, snakes, monkeys, and my personal favorite, turtles. Also, while at the zoo, we dressed up in different fun costumes and went trick-or-treating.
On our trip, members visited the Indiana War Memorial Museum with our advisors. While there, we learned about many historical events, such as World War I, the Revolutionary War, and many other important events. We also had the opportunity to touch a piece of the World Trade Center. This was an amazing experience.
On the last night, we had the opportunity to have dinner at a very nice restaurant called the Eagle's Nest. The restaurant actively spins while you eat. This allowed us to see the entire city. Eating dinner at the Eagle's Nest was a great experience.
The food was good and we got to spend casual time with each other. Our server was also amazing and everything about it was perfect.
It's been slow.
I was gonna say.
That's really cool though.
While at National Convention, our advisors assigned us the Deuce Chase, which consisted of completing a variety of tasks with picture proof. Activities included spinning the rainbow wheel at the expo, taking a photo with the rodeo clown, arm wrestling an army member, and much more. We even visited the Virginia Tech booth, the fan favorite.
This project was fun, educational, and sometimes challenging. And the winning group won a free Amelia FFA t-shirt.
Who won?
Every year, Mr. Krause assigns the seniors a scavenger hunt project.
Those projects, students are given various task runs to Indianapolis to complete, along with meeting new people and getting to explore the city.
Some examples of the tasks given were give an air high five to a hotel employee and complete a food trade with another FFA group. Overall, Mr. Krause's assignment helped to get us out of our comfort zones and fully enjoy Indianapolis. On behalf of Amelia FFA, I would like to thank the entire school board committee for supporting us. Without your support, Amelia FFA members wouldn't be able to have all the opportunities that we currently do. So thank you.
Yeah. So before you guys up and roll, because I know you're waiting on it, I just have to say, this is my favorite presentation probably every year, just to see what you all learn. And I love hearing all the amazing things that you get to see and do. And of course, Krause's project, I think every year I love to see the pictures from that, but it sounds like you all learned a lot from your experience again this year. Awesome.
Thank you for representing Amelia well.
Yes, thank you. And thank you, Ms. Stargard and Ms. Cease and all that you all do as well. They're all just kind of like crammed in here. They're back there. But thank you all so much. We appreciate your presentation. And we tried to make sure that we scooted it near the top so you didn't have to stay the entire time. So I will just say on behalf of school board, thank you for your hard work. And if you want to mosey, now's your chance. But you can stay if you want to. I have never seen some children get up so fast.
Good job.
Thank you. Y'all are amazing.
Have a good night.
Thank you. I know. They look so classy. And for everyone else, if you're trying to find a seat, you know, you can come up. Thank y'all so much. Y'all are amazing. Thank you.
It's like me. LeBron Jackson.
I know.
She likes. I like to. But on my sister.
Thank you. All right. Okay, let's get ourselves back together. Now we are at board member recognition. Dr. Harper.
So I have two pieces of recognition. The first one is to thank Dr. Garrity, who served as a delegate for the 2025 VSBA Delegate Assembly. And Dr. Tanner Anderson, you need to come down here, please. My fancy shirt. So on behalf of the Amelia County Public Schools faculty and staff, we would like to say thank you for your 4 years of service on the board. We will miss you terribly and wish you the best. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, so fancy.
I don't want you to forget us. Thank you, gorgeous. Thank you. Oh, it's so pretty. Thank you so much. It's got my name on it, y'all. Thank you. I'm gonna let you scoot by. Thank you.
All right. Not yet. Okay. Now we'll move into public comment. Is there anyone here for public comment before I start my long spiel? Because if I needn't say it, then I won't. Okay, wonderful. If there's no one here for public comment.
Keep going.
Okay. Next we have our student representative report from Allie Brown. Allie, so good to see you, my dear. What can you share with us today?
So, despite our recent snow days, ACHS has accomplished many things this month. A major highlight was our dedication to community service, exemplified by the strong student and staff turnout for the Christmas Mother program, which I actually got to attend, and it was really cool to see how it worked. And furthermore, student wellness received a significant boost through our partnership with Y Street for the Rev Your Bev initiative, which successfully promoted hydration by donating reusable water bottles and hosting interactive games during lunch periods. On the disciplinary front, our Focus Anti-Vaping campaign is showing clear success, with student restroom vaping alerts decreasing by a remarkable 48% in November compared to the previous month, indicating a positive shift in student behavior and success with closing the restrooms between classes. Academically and athletically, we are closing out the semester strong. We celebrated the induction of 36 new members into the Amelia County High School chapter of the Beta Club. Recognizing their commitment to scholarship and service, our students and staff have actively participated in Winter Spirit Days, fostering a positive atmosphere as we transition into the semester exams, which we begin tomorrow, fortunately. Winter sports are in full momentum with our girls and boys basketball teams, cheerleaders, and wrestling team actively competing. We invite the board and any community members to show their support at upcoming games and matches. The month will conclude on a high note with the highly anticipated student staff basketball game this Friday, promising a fun, collaborative event for everyone.
This Friday?
Yes.
What time? Probably right before.
This is 12:30, so I think it's like 11:30.
Oh, man. I'm up.
12, like right at the end of the day.
ACMS demonstrated outstanding commitment to supporting the Amelia County community through two primary initiatives. First, our students, staff, and families successfully collected and donated goods and resources to the local Christmas Father program, helping to ensure a brighter holiday season for families throughout the county. Second, we completed our internal food drive, the 12 Days of Giving food drive, to gather non-perishable food items specifically designated to support students and families in need within our own schools. We extend congratulations to the 6th grade class for their exceptional generosity as they contributed the largest volume of food items. Internal morale and staff collaboration were enhanced through several engaging pre-break activities designed to build school culture. Faculty teams participated in a creative holiday door decorating contest. I got to vote on. Additionally, staff participated in a fun daily scavenger hunt to locate the admin flat Stanley elves, promoting positive interaction across departments. Our music department concluded the semester with a high quality performance. The ACMS chorus and band. I got to attend that too, and beginning band definitely had a lot of progress we need to work for. Yeah. The event showcased. Well, I can say that because my brother.
I can say because I was there.
Yeah, need some work. Finally, the winter sports season is underway and off to a strong start. Our girls and boys basketball teams are demonstrating competitive play and excellent sportsmanship. Furthermore, the cheerleading team continues to be a vital part of promoting school spirit and supporting our athletes at home games. And we are proud of the spirit, generosity, and strong commitment to engagement demonstrated by our students and staff. ACES, it has been a fun and exciting month. We partnered with the Virginia Department of Health Dental Program, which I've heard about a lot from her. They provided 58 dental screenings, 56 cleanings, 83 sealants, and 56 fluoride treatments for our students. Later in November, our ROAR team hosted McDonald's Night with the Grinch. We also recognized our November Tigers of the Month. All of our staff have been enjoying our Spirit Days for a December to remember. We also want to thank our families for being flexible and understanding with the adjustments we had to make to our PTA holiday shop. And we are looking forward to an amazing new year in 2026.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yes, lots of good stuff going on. Thank you so much for your report. We appreciate it. All right, next up, we're going to move into the discussion of our budget goals for FY27. Dr. Harper.
So it's hard to believe it's that time of year again, but we've already started working on the budget for the upcoming 2026-2027 school year. So you will see that I am sharing 3 goals. First is to provide a salary increase based on our salary study that will be presented to you in January. Cost of living index and the state compensation supplement, which we should learn a little more about Wednesday when the governor's budget is presented. The second is to increase STEM offerings for students. We have started some initiatives along this line, and so we are hopeful that we'll be able to offer a few new different things for our students. And as always, ensure fiscal integrity that we have done for many years and continue to do. But this time, I want to ask the board to think about and share any additional goals that you may have as we begin preparations for the upcoming budget.
Anyone who's right now?
Well, you may certainly share them with me at another time if you would like.
I was gonna say, I'll think.
Or continue to think about it, and when we meet in January, would be a good time to add some of those.
Might I just advocate, since I shan't be here in January, just continued innovation and prioritizing innovation across the disciplines. I think that would be really important for our kiddos. Stand by. Yeah. All right, let's move into instruction, please, with Dr. Browning for the proposed calendar for 26-27. Hot topic. It's always exciting.
Excited. Final steps in our instruction work for the 26-27 school year. been a collaborative process. This is what we accomplished in October. We created the initial survey to get feedback on preferences from all stakeholders. We developed our 4 calendar choices based on the feedback survey, presented that in the October board meeting. As you can see on the next slide, in November, our goal was to build transparency and get final feedback. So during November, we presented the calendar during faculty meetings. There were 4 listening sessions that were held, and we included a slide deck to explain the different calendar options and the initial survey results that was sent out to all stakeholders, all employees, all families, and so that was included with the survey. We used the survey results before we sent the calendar survey out. We did make 2 adjustments to the calendar. We adjusted options 2 and 4 so that open house was 3 days after the return rather than 2 days. That was feedback that we had gotten during listening sessions and before we sent the survey. We also adjusted so that on option 2, the last day of quarter 1 was a half day rather than it being a half day on a Tuesday to start quarter 2. It didn't impact the number of days. It was just where the half day landed. And that was, again, feedback that we had received. So then we sent our surveys, and with that, we included in the slide deck more information about the different calendar options. And as you can see, this was shared previously with you in October, what each calendar option had. Option 1 was similar to this year with Tuesday start, 6 early release days, but in this option, Columbus Day would be a holiday for all because Easter Monday was absorbed naturally into spring break. In option 2, it was similar to this year, but with a Wednesday start. As a result, we were in school on Columbus Day, but it was the early release day because it was the end of quarter 1. Option 3 was a later start in August, starting a week later with a Tuesday start, still having the 6 early release days, and Monday being absorbed in spring break as well. It was ending before Memorial Day. Option 4 had a full PD work day in quarter 1 and quarter 3 to build more time for teachers to be able to have work time as well as professional learning. So those were the 4 calendar options that we presented. So now we are into December, final decision time. Our goal was to make sure the information was accessible and clear to stakeholders so they could make an informed decision. We used the feedback as a calendar committee to craft our recommendations. Now I'd like to share the survey results with you. We had 246 people respond, with 52% of the respondents were parents, which meant about 48% were employees. However, there were 15% of our respondents who were both employees and parents. On the next slide, you can see option 3 received 43.1 of the votes. Option 1 received 27.6 of the votes. Option 2 received 16.7 of the votes. And option 4 received 12.6 of the votes. So the calendar committee reviewed that and have come to making our recommendation. Now, as you can see, there's more details on option 3 that we wanted to share. This was all included in what was sent out to stakeholders, but we wanted to just make sure we were clear with that. There are 178 days, the same number of instructional hours as last year to this year. It also has the 41 days in Q1, 40 days in Q2, 48 days in Q3, and 49 days in the fourth quarter. Being on a year-long calendar, we have some flexibility in the length of our quarters, but the ultimate 178 days and 1,061.22 hours remained constant. The start date for teachers to return is August 7th. Open house will be the 13th, with students starting on August 18th. There's still a full week for Thanksgiving and spring break. The last day of school would be May 27th of 2027, with an optional teacher workday on May 28th of 2027. There are still 6 early release dates. So the calendar committee, based on that about half of our respondents were parents and half were employees, we felt we had representation from various stakeholder groups, and that option 3 had the most votes overall. So we were recommending that the school board adopt option 3. Happy to answer any questions you have.
Any questions for Dr. Browning about the calendar?
No question, just super happy. It's a later start date. That's the recommendation anyway.
Other questions or comments? We'll come back around to that in just a little bit. But you remain at the podium because now we have the accountability and accreditation report.
Yes, and we are thrilled to be able to share our accountability and accreditation report. It is finally here. Typically, these things come out a bit earlier from the Department of Education, but it's a new framework, and so that took a bit of time. Before our remarkable principals go to kind of talk you through the school level data, I wanted to give you a little bit of overview of what the new system is, and then provide a little regional data. So accreditation and accountability are separated under the new system. The previous system seemed to kind of marry the two. Now, accreditation is based on Virginia's accreditation system. It is also based on the standards of accreditation. Accountability is going to be school performance. So accreditation, are we doing the things we need to do according to the standards of accreditation? And our accountability is how well are our students, how well are we doing that, right? How well are our students becoming proficient? How are they growing? How ready are they? And how is our graduation? So they're trying to develop a more clear system of measuring and sharing that accountability. And we are going to count the two on its own merit from now on. On the next slide, you can see that, again, accreditation are based on the standards of accreditation. So they are things like promotion and retention policies, compliance with requirements of course offering. So are we doing the things we have to do? That's what accreditation is now based on. It's not attached to student performance and scores. On the next slide, you can see accountability is based on student mastery, student growth at the middle and elementary level, and readiness at all levels. At the high school level, they also include graduation. It's weighted differently by each school level. So for example, at the elementary, 65% of the weight goes to mastery, because when you can catch them young and get students onto grade level, they're more likely to be able to succeed and maintain that success past graduation. Growth is weighted at 25%, and growth is based on reading and math growth. Using a VBOS system this year, they're going to be moving to They've just recently decided that they're going to be using grade tables for next year's data. VBOS was a bit different. It used growth over time to see if a student met their projected proficiency rating, and then compared to the state overall. So all of the students in Virginia, they were looking at that as a cohort. Readiness at the elementary level is strictly chronic absenteeism. They may bring the integrated reading and writing assessment in the future, but right now it's, are we getting the kids to school? And what percentage of them are considered chronically absent, missing 10% or more? At the middle school level, mastery is 60%, so it's a bit lower. And I forgot to mention, mastery is based on, at the middle and elementary, as well as the high school, the reading SOL performance, as well as VAP, mathematics SOL, as well as the VAP, science SOL, as well as the VAP, and then progress and achievement of our English language learners in proficiency, and that's measured with the WIDA assessment. So that's where mastery comes from. Growth at the middle school level, again, is going to be their reading and math growth. Using this year's is based on that VBOS system, but you're going to notice growth is only 20%. Readiness is a bit different. Chronic absenteeism is still 10%, but advanced coursework offerings, which we have currently in mathematics, that is another 10%. In time, they may expand that to include advanced coursework in science and social studies, but this year it was based on that math advanced coursework. At the high school level, mastery is 50%, and a big part of the rationale is graduation already considers mastery. So graduation is 15% on its own, and that's the 4-year graduation cohort. Readiness is a combination. Chronic absenteeism is in there, but it's only 5%. Then we have the 6-year graduation rate with applied studies and the 3E readiness score. Now, the 3E is enrollment in those advanced coursework, like dual enrollment, AP courses. It's employment, so those CTE certifications with the consideration of the high wage earning potentials. They can earn more points when students complete a pathway in a high wage earning potential. It also includes enlistment, and that's measured currently by a student's ASVAB score. So that's how they get their points there. Now, on the next slide, you can see each school is going to get their overall framework score, the number, so 90% or above. They're also going to be getting a performance category. So the number provides the performance category at the state level initially. So to be distinguished, you had to be 90 points or above, on track, 80 to 89. Off track would be 65 to 79, and then needs intensive support would be below 65%. When you think of it, the distinguished schools, they are exceeding the expectations, and they're serving as models for other schools. They will have access to state supports with regional instructional consultants and grants. On-track schools are meeting those expectations. They're right there meeting the expectations set forth for graduation, growth, readiness. They may have access to additional supports as well as support for specific student groups if that's identified. Off track means they're not quite meeting the state's expectation for graduation, growth, and readiness. The degree to which they're off track, of course, can vary. You might be really close. Well, if that means that you're probably lacking or struggling in 1 or 2 areas, whereas if you're at 65 point, there's a wider range of areas you're going to need support with. Schools that are below 65% points need intensive support. So they are significantly not meeting the expectations for achievement, graduation, growth, or readiness. And they're going to get more intensive support. So at first, this is how it's designated. But then on the next slide, we'll see federal identification now comes into play. Federal identification used to kind of be its own standalone. So you had schools conditionally accredited, fully accredited. And then you had a federal identification. Now, federal identification is being merged into the accountability. Schools can be identified as a comprehensive support and improvement school, or a CSI. That's going to be the lowest 5% of Title I schools based on that overall framework score. And so if a school is Title I and they're at the lowest 5%, they would be considered comprehensive support and improvement. It's very highly likely that these would be in their overall framework score also needing intensive support. So they're needing a wide range of support. They were probably below or well below 65 points on their overall framework. Then there's going to be schools that are called targeted support and improvement. Those schools have one or more subgroup populations with a weighted framework score that is below the overall framework score and the indicator scores in reading, math, and science that are below the top performing CSI school. So the way I think of it is, of your CSI schools, your lowest of the 5% Title I, your top CSI school sets the bar, and they're going to measure every subgroup in your school against their scores. It used to be that 65% and below is how you are identified for subgroups. Now it is a moving target, and it is dependent on the top CSI's overall score, reading performance, math performance, science performance. And here are the thresholds. So what used to be concrete 65% or below is kind of out the window and will change from year to year. This year, you'll notice that at the elementary level, the threshold was set at 71.8 as the overall framework score. That's kind of in the middle of the off-track zone, right? Not even significant needs improvement. It's 71 at the off-track. And then when you look across, the performance indicator was 71.3 for reading, 74.5 for math, and 84.25 points in science. That's quite high. So that highest performing CSI school did a pretty good job in science. It's well above the 65%, which used to be the threshold. Now again, 65% was the pass rate. We're talking about mastery index scores, but they're quite similar. It's just the mastery index scores weight, so you get extra points for advanced scores, and you get lower points when they score below a certain threshold. You look at the middle school, their overall framework score is quite different because again, it's based on the cohorts. 68.9 was the threshold for the overall score, 69.83 was the reading, 70.52 was the math, and 76.09 was set for science. Then you go over to high school, and that's even more different. Their threshold for federal identification was set at 48.9 overall, then 59.7 for reading performance. Math was at 86.05. So that top performing high school that was CSI had a real strength in math. So their science was a 63.63. So any school who has any subgroup that is below or at all four of those automatically drops a performance category. We don't drop their total points, we just drop their category with the state's intention of saying they are, if they were distinguished, now they're just on track for that subgroup. If they were on track, now they're off track with a focus on that subgroup population. And if they were off track, no matter how close they were, they will drop to needs intensive support with a focus on that subgroup. So while it's more transparent, it can also feel a little more confusing because when you drop the level for a subgroup, you don't want to lose sight of the fact that you have all of these other students that were not at that level. And so we want to kind of make sure we're targeting our support and our efforts accordingly and understanding what we're looking at. Yeah. I could go on and on about that all day. Please stop me if you have any questions. Okay. Now, you'll see we're going to take a look at accreditation for the division, and then I'm going to give you some regional statistics before I hand it over to our remarkable principals. On the next slide, you're going to see we're fully accredited. All three schools were fully accredited. We are doing, and you see that day to day. The next slide, you're going to see some Region 8 statistics. And I kind of like this because this shows us, one, we are not alone. In fact, when you go into the DOE, you're going to see that across the state, I believe it's every region has schools, an increased number of schools that are off track and needs intensive support. This is twofold, partly because of the new framework, but partly because of the way the federal identification now drops you a level, even though it's specific to a subgroup. You'll also notice in our region, there are very few, I believe there's just one division that does not have a school that is off track or needs intensive support. That's also unusual. It's unusual for Region 8. It's unusual across the state. So what we're experiencing is not unusual. And as we kind of move forward, we're going to be able to get a handle on how we can support those students that we need to. For us, we have one distinguished school, we have one school that is on track, and we have one school that, due to federal identification for one subgroup population, moved from off track over to needs intensive support. But we want to keep in mind that specific to the subgroup population that we want to give a little bit of extra support and work with. Now, can I answer any questions? Was this clear as mud?
What's our one subgroup that we need to?
Our one subgroup is our students with disabilities. which again, when you look at the thresholds, what used to be 66% was you would be kind of like in that gray, the yellow zone, right? Like, just watch these. And if it was 65 or below, you'd be identified. Now, for that particular school, we went all the way up to 84 points, I believe it was, 85 in science. It had the really high science, which is unusual. And we want to commend that particular CSI school that set that bar. But we used it to measure against all of our subgroup populations. Fortunately, I have to say, I'm very proud of all of our administrators and our teachers and our staff because they started to unpack all of this data even before we knew for sure what it was this summer. They dove in during admin retreat. They had been working with their teams on it. And so we were not necessarily surprised. We were able to use what we could to figure out if we were identified, which student population would it be, and what can we already do to start supporting them. So it's been a lot of proactive work in advance of this. And there are a lot of schools, when you see that Region 8, there are a lot of schools in the region who were not prepared quite yet, who were surprised. Many schools across the state. So we get to walk hand in hand to continue figuring out our school-wide plans and what interventions we're going to do to support all of our students and specifically our subgroup populations. But it's a continuation of the really impactful work that's already been being done. So I'm excited to be a part of that. Well, if there are no other questions, I'm pleased to turn over to Mrs. Davis, Principal of Amelia County Elementary School. Good evening. You can. So after that explanation, there will not be a quiz. But I do want to take a look. Here is the performance category data for the elementary school. You can see the weights broken out for each of those categories for mastery, growth, and readiness. And if you take a look at the top left-hand corner, you will see our overall score is a 77.1. And with that, when you think about the categories that we have, we would be slightly off track. So we would be in that off track range, as we were talking about before. And if you go to the next slide, this is where our subgroups come into play with our categories. And so when we take a look at this, you can see again the threshold that we were talking about before of that highest CSI school and their rates. So that's what we are being compared to with all of these different subgroups. And so, as was stated earlier, we have been identified for TSI with special education. I do want to say that we were a TSI school last year, and we were identified in 2 subgroups. So we have been able to drop off one of those subgroups because of the improvements that we've had there. And so now we have one subgroup. Still, what that means with that one subgroup is that we have been dropped down a level. And so if you go to the next slide, you can see that with that 77.1, we were in the off-track range. Because of that subgroup, then we've been pushed down to needs intensive support. But again, that intensive support is specific to that subgroup. I don't want to take away from all of the growth that has been happening. It's hard to compare when you have a new system, then it's hard to see that because everything is different. But with all of our subject areas for our SOLs, our overall pass rates have increased over the past 3 years. So I just want to make sure that that is shared, that our teachers, all of our staff are working very hard. Last year, we started unpacking standards. This year, with our PLCs, now we are planning collaboratively all together. We have amazing things happening within our school, and we need all of those things to be shared with whole teams.
And so that has been our key that, again, we've started that, but for this year with our PLCs and planning, it's that collaborative with all the teachers on the grade level coming together, looking at data together, looking at the standards to make sure we're all aligned. Because when you get in your classroom, and those of you that have been teachers, you just know what's happening within your walls. And so we need to push those walls down and find out what amazing things are happening all throughout the school and share those with each other. So collaboration has been key for us. Again, we already started this work. It was not a surprise, but it still is deflating to see that because we are working hard. We're just working on making sure we're working hard on the right things and continuing to do that. We have been doing team data meetings. We had started individual data meetings last year. Because of the collaboration, we're meeting as a team to talk about data and sharing that. We can't be scared to share our numbers with each other. We have to look at it together and figure out how can we help each other and make this better. So if you go to the next slide, I did want to share, so these are some other Region 8 comparisons that were here of top mastery for different things. If you take a look, I know it's hard to see on here, but the top 5 English learner progress, you will see at the very top, Amelia County Elementary Schools. So I just want to give a shout out. That is great news. We've had some changes in how we are working with our English learners, pushing into the classroom and in there with instruction, and it's made a world of difference. So, any questions?
Questions for Ms. Luna?
Okay.
Thank you. All right.
Good evening. Here shall share Amelia County Middle Schools performance category data. As you can see, that top left score there is an 87.3, which is, I'll talk a little bit about the context of where that sits here in a moment, but you can kind of see middle school is broken down into mastery, which again, 60%, 20% growth, 20% readiness. We did very well and really overall in those categories, exceptionally well in growth. And I'll point that out in a moment as well. But that 87.3 really lends itself to a lot of improvement, a lot of growth with reading, science, and math performance doing very well. EL, we don't have a population large enough to count yet, but we are on the brink of that. And of course, our advanced coursework all, help lend itself to really good scores. So if we could move to the next one. So it did put us on track at, again, 87.3. And you can see that category goes from 80 to 89. So we're knocking on the door of that distinguished level there. We just have to get a look over the hump in certain areas, but we're getting there and perform very well overall. So we are on track. If we want to click and kind of compare ourselves to other Region 8 schools, we perform very well at the middle school level. In fact, I want to point out a little bit of an error here from the state. You can see that our overall framework score is actually the top score in the entire Region 8 level at 87.3, just above the 87.2. And as far as we rank really, really highly in the top 5 of pretty much every category, I do want to point out growth. Reading growth, Amelia County was number 1. And in math growth, Amelia County was number 2 at the middle school level, as well as you can see, really top 5 in mastery in reading, math, science, and advanced coursework. So they've done some great work, and like the elementary school, we're really focused on driving our improvements with data. We've got our PLCs that meet routinely, and we're diving into data. We're learning together, we're growing together. Big believer in clarity for learning. We're doing a lot of PD on that. So we're all on the same page. We're getting in and we're doing that trust-based data and we are moving forward. So really proud of what they've accomplished and what we're about to do moving forward. So, any questions?
That's good. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you.
Hello again. So the high school performance category total was 110.1. The 3E framework, I wanted to point out, 25% is its weight and 40% is where it came in. That is thanks to a lot of the CTE programs that we have currently and the FFA program that presented tonight. So we appreciate your support in that area. That's a really big deal and it really bumped us a lot. Readiness is worth 35% at the high school. So that's a big deal and we hope to continue pursuing those types of programs. So that does put us in the distinguished category among high schools with 110. We are very proud of our school. We had a faculty meeting this afternoon and presented the data to our teachers and they were really stoked and happy to see some good news. So when you look at Region 8, we actually were the top school in Region 8 as well for high schools as compared to high schools. We were in the top 5 for mastery in reading and math. We were in number 1 for graduation for 4-year graduation and in the 6-year graduation. That just means students who didn't quite graduate within those 4 years, but still graduated within the 6 years. So we were number 1 in graduation rates, both types. And we were in top 5 for chronic absenteeism and 3E readiness. We were number 1 in the region, for the 3E categories, which again, we're really super stoked about the programs that we have at the high school. While we love to see them grow, we're so happy to see the successes of the programs. Oh, there's one more slide. So this is the 3E data that shows that we were top 3 for employment and number 1 for enlistment. Questions? Oh, and I do want to just mention that when we look at the data for Region 8, we were number 1, but for the state, we're a little bit muddy on exactly where we are, whether it's 6, 7, 8, somewhere in there, but we are definitely top 10 high schools in the state.
That's excellent. All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Browning, and all of our amazing administrators, all the work that you all have been doing, your faculty and staff. It's nice to see some positive here. So thank you very much. We're going to scooch on into our information agenda, starting first with Dr. Medley and the Division Communication Plan.
Yes, this communication plan is the work of the division level BTSS team. This was developed over the course of several months, if not a year, and designed to help improve efficiency and communication for parents, staff, and members of the community. You will see that this plan is tied to the strategic plan, strategy 4, result 8, which is strengthening community partnerships and improving communication with the community to enhance access and improve visibility within the community. We distributed a survey to staff in November to solicit feedback on the document. The feedback was reviewed and some adjustments were made based on the feedback. And you will also notice that the external and internal communication chart is just a quick reference for all the departments to help implement that chain of command and help parents to understand and staff to understand who the correct people are in that chain of command to go to if they have any questions or concerns. So this is just for information purposes to let you know that this is the work of the division level BTSS team. And I will take any questions today.
Any questions for Dr. Medley?
Yeah, I do. On the organizational chart, I was looking at this earlier. So if a parent had a question about something at ANTC, would they contact the high school?
Right. Well, the ANTC, I mean, if a student was not enrolled in ANTC, or
no, I'm saying
if they're going to ANTC.
Yeah, if they're there and there's a question, I mean, the principal.
Right.
Okay, that's not on our chart here, but I guess they just know to contact ANTC's director, principal.
That's a small contingent of students that go there, but
Right.
they collaborate together. So they would,
Okay.
they contacted the high school principal, that she would put them in touch with,
Okay.
the ANTC principal.
That's all.
All right, other questions for Dr. Medley? Okay, thank you so much. Next up, we have Mr. Trump with the School Nutrition Administrative Review Report.
Good evening. So when we put this on your agenda, we anticipated having the full report from the state at this point, but with the review of primary on-site review being scheduled for last Monday and Tuesday, there's been some adjustments. So I just want to give a brief overview of the information and updated progress on our school nutrition programs administrative review. Over the past few months, ACPS has been submitting documentation to our reviewers for off-site examination. The first of our 2 on-site visits was conducted last week on Thursday and Friday. The on-site review consisted of more documentation examination, specifically some documents that are too cumbersome to digitize. Production records from the cafeteria, they literally keep record of each item made and eat for each meal in each school. That's a lot of paper to scan that's stapled and sometimes some stained. They actually encourage that. They say production record with food stains on it shows it's actually being used. So we don't want to put that to the standard. But also there's with school nutrition, there's a lot of private student data that is just easier to keep as a hard copy. So they come in and they review those documents. And on Friday, when we didn't have a 2-hour delay, they did a full meal observation of everything, nose to tail in the middle school, from the reviewers on site at about 7:15 that morning, watching them prepare, record, serve absolutely every part of the meal service, and every location meals are being served for the middle school. Our second on-site review is rescheduled. It was supposed to be Monday afternoon, but this review covers all of our food service programs, including our after-school snack program that runs in multiple schools and at the library in town. And also is a review of our summer feeding program. That had an on-site review over the summer, but this is once again more thorough documentation review. That's scheduled for this Wednesday now. And right now, all the feedback we've received has been informal, but the vast majority of what we have heard back has been very good. Once the full review is complete, Dr. Harper and I will have an exit interview with the review team and a full formal report on the review, including discussions of any findings and required corrective actions will be presented to you at that next meeting. We thought it was better just to give a short and formal update than taking it off the agenda. So that's what I have at the moment. I'll have more for y'all in January.
Thank you, Mr. Trump. All right, we also have you up for finance reports.
So today I'm sharing with you finance reports for November FY26. To be meeting our goals, operating expenditure should be at about 34.9%, and we are close to that number at 35.6%. In textbook funds, the expenditures are at 29.76% for FY26. Funds 4 and 5 for all in construction have expenditures of the appropriated funds at 30.55% and 0% respectively. In the cafeteria fund, expenditures are at 21.48% for FY26. In other finance news, the state budget cycle is ramping up quickly. The governor's initial budget proposal will be published this week, and VDOE has already scheduled a webinar this Wednesday afternoon to share information regarding to that initial budget. So while the budget proposal and legislative amendments soon to follow in January are large unknowns that will impact our FY27 budget, one item that we do currently have is our updated composite index of the local ability to pay, or LCI, which was released in November. So I do have a quick presentation for that, just to kind of show what we are working with on this section. So for some context, I've kind of pieced together a couple different presentations over time, different documents here. But for context, most state funding for school divisions is equalized. That's meaning it's adjusted for local ability to pay education costs. The composite index is the tool that they use to determine each division's state and local shares of costs for our SOQ programs and other direct aid programs. The formula uses 3 indicators to estimate that ability to pay: the true value of real property in the locality, Virginia's adjusted gross income in the locality, and taxable retail sales in that locality. These indicators are then evaluated and expressed on a combination of a per capita basis and a per pupil basis to account for varying sizes of localities. The full index then is adjusted to establish an overall local share of 45% for these programs and a state share of 55% for these programs. So it's a lot of math, a lot of different levels of things going in. And also one thing to keep in mind is that the data they want is pretty comprehensive and usually lags about 2 years behind. So I believe they're using a cohort of data from 2021 to 2023 for this new index. So each biennium, DOE publishes and calculates a composite index calculation and trend analysis document along with our new index. So I'm going to walk through a couple of the key factors from that presentation from DOE. The first of those pages is the recalculation of our composite index, and you can see kind of all the layers they go through of where they actually, this is them inputting their the data from those factors into all the formulas. You can see that that first element for the true value of real property actually gets a weight of 0.5. The local adjusted income gets a weight of 0.4. And then the taxable retail sales is a weight of 0.1. They go through that for the two calculations we have here. One is the full calculation on the ADM per basis. One is on the per capita basis for the locality using our total population. What they do from that point, once it's all plugged in, they take those calculations, multiply them by 2/3 and 1/3. The 2/3 weight goes to ADM. Schools population is a massive driver for these calculations. And then the total local population has the 1/3 weighting. That gets us to our local composite index. And then that's put into that 45% times that 45% to determine what our composite index will actually be. So you can see for the 2026-2027 biennium, or 2027-2028, sorry, our composite index is 0.3978. That represents a change over the last year of 0.0022 or 0.022. Another tab that they provide to us is they give us an actual trend analysis where they show basically where we measure up against state averages. You can see when it comes down to average daily membership, on a state average, there was very modest growth, but that's also outweighed by very large divisions that are having large housing development and influx of staff or having some massive growth. Other ones are having more modest declines, such as we are, a decline of 3.1%. When it comes to our total population, we actually had a larger total population growth in our county than the state average, almost double that. It's still 1.6%. The places where we really outpace the state, you'll be surprised to see that we have things where taxable retail sales, it's only 10% of that calculation, but we in the absolute value are almost basically double the state average. And so really when we see most of these metrics where we are either keeping pace with or very close to the state average or above it for the financial metrics. And we are declining or having very small change in population. When it's saying the money is higher and the population is lower, we'd anticipate the state is going to say that we can pay more. So where does this come into play? What does this actually mean for us? This is only one factor on the budget. You'll see this number all over the calculations template. You'll see it as we discuss the budget. So what I did is I took the last calculations template. We'll have a new one with the governor's budget later this week. Skipped a step. I want to give you the regional comparisons. They have a list of every single district in the state and what happened with your LCI. This is an index. You're going to see equalized up and down movement, but you can see that in our DOE region, only two districts went down. Mecklenburg, you can see actually had quite a large jump. So they're going to see some big changes occurring in their local composability to pay. In our in our salary study, our local neighbors, our boundary districts that we use for those studies, everybody went up. Chesterfield, well, I guess Chesterfield, their level, it's a very, that's a negligible difference in their total. But for the most part, this is a pretty common trend in our area, as we've seen influx, we've seen property values are rising, and for us, things are going better than in other places. So, to give you a sense of what this means for a budget, I took the last calculations template for this budget year. This is how this works. What we used for our budget presentations this year. The rows in yellow are those that are actually have, you can see that not all of them have a local share assigned. So I discounted those in this calculation, and all but one, this technology BPSA, all the ones in technology BPSA has a local share, but that local share is a set percentage that's even for all school districts that's set in the budget language. So all of these in yellow are the ones that are affected by the LCI calculation. You can see our total locality contributions last year was $7,488,065. That's what's in our budget currently, as approved by the board. So what we did was I applied these changes to that current scenario. So if we take that affected local share, it's just below that 7,488, so $7.462 million. The total for the LCI of the state and local shares, remember that is they split off the share the locality can't afford out of the full cost of the program. So if we then multiply that total for both programs by our new composite index, it shows that if this is not what I think is going to happen this year, we don't know what the total is. This is just if this LCI were the one that we had active right now, instead of the county being asked to contribute $7,462,465 for the LCI programs, they would have been asked to contribute $7,899,329, an increase of $436,864 for this year alone. There are a lot of factors that go into what the state will have in terms of that require local effort and require local match formula. That's what's driven the last few budgets we've had with the county. Other increases in funding or adjustments in state funding could come into play with this. And they're talking about overhauling the full state funding formula for the state. With some talk being as early as this year, but I think that might be a bit hasty. They haven't done much work with that fully yet. So this all might be moot in 6 to 18 months. However, we're looking at what's going to happen this next budget cycle, the next few months. And as information comes out, I want to make sure you were aware of how these changes, just understand the scope of these things when we hear about these things are changing or these pieces are coming out. Are there any questions about that information or the finance reports?
Questions?
Thank you. That was an excellent example. .02 sounds tiny, and then
but then
dollars to it.
Yeah, remember this is because of how they present it. It really is. It's a percentage. We went from 37.58%. You don't think of 2% being 2.2% change being that much. But when it's 2.2% and the overall change is what it is, an increase of even 6% doesn't sound significant. But when you're talking about millions of dollars, 6% is a lot.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Mr. Cross. Next up, we have the CIP request for 2732. That feels weird to say. Dr. Harper.
Yes, so I'll be presenting some things that normally would be presented by Mr. Lynch. Our Amelia County Public Schools Capital Improvement Plan 2026 outlines a strategy for addressing the evolving needs of Amelia County Public Schools. The plan prioritizes facility improvements, infrastructure upgrades, and educational enhancements to ensure a high-quality learning experience for all students. You will see in the document that items have been prioritized. That's column C, and that the item estimates are in column D. These estimates obviously are subject to change. So the first one is School Board Office Building 1, that's next to us, renovations. The original estimate for Mosley was about $4 million. This renovation to classroom space would provide additional space for alternative ed programs and expand additional education opportunities. I would like to note that we are waiting for an updated estimate on these renovations, and hope to have that, soon. I find it hard to believe that it would really cost that much, but that was Mosley's original estimate. The second is middle school back paving. This would be for repair and resurfacing the deteriorating areas and to improve safety, accessibility, and aesthetics. And it's interesting that this is noted because when I did my listening sessions with the bus shop, paving at the middle school was one of the things that was mentioned. Also, the high school HVAC, RTU 1 to 3 in cafeteria. This would replace the aging HVAC systems to improve indoor air quality, energy efficiency, and overall comfort. Then 4 is the bus shop field lights. This would install lighting to enable evening practices and games, increasing facility utilization and community engagement in the field by the bus shop. And then number 5 is the new middle school, high school planning. And this is to plan for a new school to address overcrowding, to improve facilities, and meet future enrollment needs. And we all know that our buildings are aging. Okay. I will go through the other items, but these are the 5 that are prioritized, which the Board of Supervisors has requested that those for the upcoming school year be prioritized. However, you'll see a prioritization for the other 4 years as well. So I'll just go through this briefly. In 2028 would be HVAC replacement for 8th grade wing, Head Start window replacement, because those windows are aged. High school plumbing upgrade would upgrade the aging plumbing system at the high school. Middle school bathroom renovation. As many of you know, that some of the facilities are designed for smaller children, and some of those bathrooms need some updates. Elementary school gym floor replacement is on here. High school new athletic complex planning. This has been on the CIP for a while. In 2029 would include middle school bathroom renovations, middle school plumbing upgrades, middle school kitchen equipment replacement, and high school athletic complex phase 1. And some of you, if you were on the board when we did have the facilities assessment several years ago, will recognize that most of these things were recommended by that assessment, and in those sequence that they were recommended. In 2030 would be phase 2 of the athletic complex, the high school kitchen equipment replacement, middle school bus canopy replacement, high school bathroom renovations, elementary hot water heater replacement, Head Start ceiling replacement, Head Start restroom renovations, and Head Start roof ventilation, restroom HVAC. 2031 would be high school CTE facility. Again, coming back to that, new athletic complex phase 2, ACES kitchen equipment replacement, high school ceiling and lighting upgrades, middle school new cafeteria planning, middle school new cafeteria build, and elementary school cooling tower and boiler replacement. So we will be seeking your approval of this plan and the prioritization of the next year's CIP projects.
Any questions or anything for Dr. Harper at this point?
They look all very familiar.
Yeah. They should.
I think some of these were on here when I was on the board 20 years ago. Yep, just keep on moving it down, keep on moving it down. Okay,
All right, thank you, Dr. Harper. We also have you up for the facilities update as well.
So attached in your board docs, you will find the results of the quarterly sprinkler inspections. A faulty discharge valve was found at the elementary school and a couple of faulty control valves at the middle school. Also noted it was a dialer issue at the board office, which has been resolved. We're awaiting price quotes for some of these repairs, and we plan to have the repairs done in time for the 5-year inspection in January.
All right, thank you. We also have you up for facility use.
Yes, so you will see I'm sorry. I also need to mention work orders closed last month. Maintenance was 60, tech was 46, and transportation was 1. Okay. And facility use. We have Russell Grove Association, Juneteenth celebration. This request is to use the parking lots, the previous culinary area, the high school back bus loop, and Jim. Sorry, I'm gonna have to ask Dr. Melly. Was this also for the high school in the event of rain?
Right, I think what the committee would like to do is to move to the high school because we don't have a rain plan.
So move the whole event to the high school. And then my understanding was that they have requested that the fees be waived. And Mr. Lynch just asked me to share that the board has waived fees for everything in the past except the custodial fees at schools.
So that's just an information item, right?
So it is on the information, however, it is not on the approval for waiving the fees. So if you want to consider that, there could be a motion at this time.
Okay, is there a motion to waive the fees for Russell Grove for their Juneteenth celebration for the high school except for the custodial fees? Thank you, Dr. Garrity. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Whittington. Any discussion?
No, it's just weird that it's an information instead of action.
I know.
But go ahead.
I know.
Go ahead.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. All right.
Yeah,
And
facility
we also,
use is usually here, that's why.
and what about our field trip applications?
Yes, so you will see this month's field trip request for your review. There's one that will be under action items, which is the trip to Greece in June, but there's high school on the for Keysville, high school band to Amelia Parade, high school band to Blackstone, high school band to Crew, high school DECA to Randolph College, high school Greece trip in June of 26, high school Men of Honor to Longwood, high school Parks and Rec, high school Robotics, Powhatan, high school SCA to Busch Gardens, high school band to Monacan High School, middle school Flame to Parks and Rec, and middle school NHS Journeys trip.
All right. Any questions about the field trip applications? All right. We also have fundraising applications.
And there are 4 requests. 1 was from the elementary, 2 from the middle, and 1 for the high school.
All right. Information. Thank you, Dr. Harper. Now we need to move into the consent agenda, starting with the approval of our personnel agenda. Might there be a motion to approve?
Sorry. Go ahead.
Thank you, Ms. Whittington. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Fletcher. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, now we need a motion to approve the minutes from the November 11th school board meeting.
We approve as presented.
Thank you, Dr. Garrity. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Whittington. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, and now we need a motion to approve the bills and information.
So moved.
Thank you, Ms. Fletcher. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Whittington. Any discussion?
Thank you, Mr. Trump, for answering all my questions.
Awesome. And any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Excellent. Okay, now let's move into our action items, starting with the instructional calendar. Dr. Browning, welcome back to the podium.
The calendar committee seeks your approval of option 3 for the 26-27 instructional.
Right. Might there be a motion to approve option 3 of the 26-27 instructional calendar?
For the first time in 4 years. So moved.
All right, Ms. Whittington, is there a second?
And a second.
Thank you, Ms. Fletcher. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Outstanding. Thank you. Dr. Brownling, we also have you up for the approval of the NGLA service agreement.
Yes, we're seeking your approval of the education service agreement with the University of Richmond for the NGLA, which is the Next Generation Leadership Academy. It's a professional learning cohort that supports new and aspiring assistant principals in their leadership group.
Okay. Awesome. Is there a motion to approve the NGLA service agreement?
So moved.
Thank you, Dr. Garrity. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Fletcher. Any discussion?
Just thank Dr. Browning for running it by the attorneys and answering some questions that I had.
Yeah.
Since it was not an MOU, it's a service agreement, it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
So it has some wording that I was questioning, and she had that checked out, so thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, Dr. Browning, also with the approval of the Bridgewater College MOU.
Yes, we're seeking your approval for the Bridgewater College MOU. This MOU allows Amelia County Schools to partner with Bridgewater College to support the placement of qualified student teacher candidates in Amelia County Public Schools.
All right, might there be a motion to approve the Bridgewater College MOU?
So moved.
Thank you, Ms. Whittington. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Dr. Garrity. Any discussion?
I just have a question. Have we had many from Maryborough? From Bridgewater, I'm sorry? Have Bridgewater candidates come
We
in?
must have someone that wants to.
So being new,
I was just wondering.
I am not sure how many we have, but I can absolutely find out.
Bad question for me to ask somebody recently.
Okay. All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. And Dr. Browning, we also have approval of the ACES Guitar Center Music Grant.
Yes, we have a very quick presentation for you that was created by the music teacher at ACES. We're seeking your approval to apply for the Guitar Center Music Foundation grant. You'll see on this slide, the grant is through the Guitar Center Music Foundation, which is an independent 501c3 organization. And their grants fund the purchase of instruments and equipment for public schools and music programs. They can range anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000. The grant is due December 31st. They are giving quarterly. It'll be announced in February. You see the proposal is for a for multiple tinker guitars, soprano ukuleles, concert ukuleles, and xylobells. So a wide range of instruments geared towards specific grades to get instruments in the hands of our students.
I want to play ones.
I know.
Guitars.
And so we know that the benefit, the goal is trying to boost that engagement and motivation, leading to overall better attendance. When students have something they look to come to school for, they show up. They'll get themselves out of bed just to get there to play that tinker guitar. We're also hoping to see increased student participation in the performances, which strengthens that community outreach. We want a community to come in and celebrate our students with us. It will also foster teamwork, collaboration, discipline, and a sense of belonging while in the music classroom and outside the music classroom, adding to that school culture. So I was very excited that the music teacher and our ACES administrators were supportive and proactive in seeking this out and writing this grant. So we are seeking your approval for that to apply.
Excellent. Might there be a motion to approve ACES Guitar Center Music Grant application? Thank you, Dr. Garrity. A second. Thank you, Ms. Whittington. Any discussion?
That's great.
I think it is so great.
To the ACES team.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Browning. And now we have Dr. Medley, first with an approval of religious exemptions.
Yes, we have a request from one family, and we are asking your approval for the release from compulsory attendance due to religious exemption clause.
Okay,
approval.
Thank you, Ms. Fletcher. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Whittington. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, excellent, thank you. Dr. Medley, next up we have you for the approval of request for release from no trespass notice.
Yes, we do have Mr. Davis here with us tonight, and he would like to address the board and request him to be released from that no trespass notice. So I'll call him to the podium at this time. It's Mr. Davis.
Thank you. Hello, Mr. Davis.
So I received a trespass notice about a year ago, and I got the no trespass for something that happened in another county. And basically what happened was, I'm a content creator, so the players suggested I should record the game. It was like a press Edward last year. And then I was on the sideline recording. And after, basically what happened was, it was a fight in the game, and I recorded it, posted on YouTube, and they came to my door. They said I was trespassing or no trespassing. But I learned my lesson and not to do it again. And I'm a graduate from Amelia County, and I want to support the games and events. That's about it.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Davis. All right, might there be a motion to release from no trespass? All right, hearing none, there will be no action at this time. Thank you.
I appreciate it.
All right, next up, Mr. Trump, we have you for the approval of appropriation for the Advancing Computer Science Grant. Okay.
For your approval this evening is a request to appropriate $19,924 to state instructional expenditures and to state revenues. ACPS was notified of receiving this grant award from the Virginia Department of Education to support efforts to grow and expand computer science course offerings and enrollment at Amelia County High School. All funds must be encumbered no later than June 30th, 2025. And these funds have actually all been received. This is not a reimbursement-based grant, which is why we're bringing it here right now. They actually, and that was confirmed with the county treasurer last Thursday, I believe. There is no local match to this funding. We'd like to get to spending it as fast as we can, so we're not sitting on a pile at the end of the year. It goes to good use.
Love that. All right, might there be a motion to approve the appropriation? Thank you, Ms. Fletcher. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Dr. Garrity. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Excellent. Thank you so much, Mr. Trump. Next, we have Dr. Wheeler with the approval of job descriptions for the safety coordinator and maintenance supervisor.
Good evening. We are seeking your approval for 2 job descriptions. The first is a new position, the district safety coordinator position, which will be advertised and posted and filled as soon as possible. The second is the maintenance supervisor position. We will begin advertising, but it will not be effective until March 18th.
All right, might there be a motion to approve these job descriptions as presented? Thank you, Ms. Whittington. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Fletcher. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, thank you so much, Dr. Wheeler. Right now we have Dr. Harper with the approval of that CIP request.
Right, we're seeking your approval of the CIP list presented earlier.
All right, might there be a motion to approve?
Move to approve as presented.
Thank you, Dr. Garrity. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Fletcher. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, now we need the approval of that overnight field trip.
Yes, we're seeking your approval for a summertime overnight educational trip to Greece.
Is there a motion to approve the overnight field trip? Thank you, Ms. Fletcher. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Dr. Garrity. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Right. Dr. Harper, also approval of the energy shutdown.
So we are seeking your approval to shut down the entire school division from December 22nd through January 2nd to conserve energy. Anticipated cost savings runs about $950 or more a day.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve the energy shutdown?
So moved.
Thank you, Dr. Garrity. A second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Whittington. Any discussion?
Just a quick question.
Yes.
So, do we have any organizations that use the buildings on weekends? So I'm just wondering why you're not asking for it to be shut down on you said 22nd.
Those are work days, so that's why I selected those dates.
It'll be shut down for the weekends in between.
Yeah,
as well.
now, I don't have the full facility use requests in front of me, so. I don't have-
Parks and Rec is the way.
Yeah, they
use them
sometimes
on
use
Saturday.
it, yeah.
Okay. But during that, tell me the dates again, 22nd.
So this is, yeah, where
The
those
breaks,
2 weeks.
the breaks, those 2 weeks of break. Okay.
Yeah, Monday through Friday.
So there won't be any Parks and Rec happening on
Parks and
those
Rec may
weekends?
be using the facility,
Oh.
but offices would be closed
Okay.
and, heat
It'll
turned
be
down
chilly.
and all of that.
Okay.
Mhm.
Just like in here. Okay.
Okay,
I'm done. It comes and goes.
All right. All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right. Last, we have the approval of the January 2026 meeting date and time.
Yes, so in January, typically the board will approve the meeting schedule for the year. So we are seeking recommending conducting the January school board meeting at the usual time of the second Monday, which would be January 12th, with closed session at 5 and open session at 6:30. We do believe this is the best date for the January organizational board meeting, so we are seeking your approval.
Might there be a motion to approve the January 12th school board meeting date?
So moved.
Thank you, Ms. Whittington. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Dr. Garrity. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Just kidding. Just kidding. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. Now we have the superintendent's report.
Yes, so our November ADM was 1491. At the end of November, K-12 enrollment was 1495. Pre-K-12 enrollment was 1562. The November discipline reports are provided for your information. Also, upcoming events, the fall sports night is tomorrow night at 7 p.m. I'd also like to congratulate the middle school and high school on being top schools in our region on the new state accountability for the new state accountability data. I do think they need to be congratulated for that, and also want to thank Dr. Tanner Anderson for her service again. We'll miss you on the board, and wish everyone a wonderful and safe holiday.
Thank you, Dr. Harper. All right, school board member reports. What you got?
All right, well, it was at the state school board meeting, big convention over in Williamsburg back in November, and went to an AI piece that was really informative. AI is everywhere all the time. I'm dealing with it every day of my life at campus, and it is a challenge and it's a struggle, but I think with keeping the human in there somewhere along the way is going to be vitally important. And the material that's coming out is going to be worthwhile for folks to look at for over the next few months. But it's going to change all the time. I was also at the ANTC meeting here at the end of the month in November. We had a very nice performance, at least a demonstration or explanation of the new kind of construction building trades operation that's going on. Had some really great things that are going on in that regard. And then what else? Oh, I want to say thank you, Dr. Tanner Anderson, for being a very, very capable person on the board, wonderful person to work with. It's not that I have known you forever.
I was going to say, that means a lot coming from you.
And
Thank you.
your efforts are much appreciated.
I also attended the School Board Association meeting in Williamsburg. I attended a pretty interesting breakout session. It was Augusta County that's narrowed down sort of some outlying bus routes, and they've been able to utilize small vans to address some of the farthest outliers, which then frees up bus space and bus time, shortening routes that are closer in.
Remind me, number of people that might be very appreciated.
That's right.
Out there on the yeah.
And then also, I attended another session that was really interesting about just kind of more follow-up on the JLARC study that, just confirmed for all of us how poorly underfunded we all are. What else? Christmas parade, kudos to the bus shop. Did we ever find out? Did the bus shop win? Oh, no, they should have won. They got robbed.
Oh, great.
Bus shop did a great job.
They did a wonderful job. Maine's right.
Yeah. Write that down. Looking forward to basketball games coming up. Today was a beta induction at the high school. That was awesome. 36 kids inducted into beta. And then, yes, we started this crazy ride together, and I don't know what to do without you. But thank you.
Okay. I'll echo. I've enjoyed my 2 years serving with you on the board. Thank you very much for your service to the county. Looking forward to what you might do in the future.
Thank you.
Yeah, to support us. So you've said everything already that, when I started writing down the notes of everything that has happened since the last meeting, I was like, oh my gosh, we did this is the last meeting. VSBA conference. I also did a breakout session on AI. And the gentleman who was presenting shared in the session I was in, shared 4 different, it was, college applications, seniors who were writing essays for college applications. And we were supposed to read through 4 of these paragraphs and see if we could figure out, which one was AI and which one were actual students. And most of us got it wrong. I'm thinking, oh, surely this is the AI one. Nope. So it's really hard to tell. Yeah. Although one of the people in my little group said she is a teacher, and she said she knows her students and she knows how they write. She could tell, she thought she could tell which ones, if it was her students, she could tell if it was their writing or if it was AI. But that was very interesting. And something else that I heard recently as far as AI is concerned is for people like myself who are a little bit older and, I don't use AI. I don't deal with that stuff. And then the comment was made, I may not have any idea about what it is and what it's about, but they're going to get my children and my grandchildren. So I need to keep up with what's going on so that I need to stay informed. And that just hit me like, oh man.
You have no excuse.
I know. So I need to pay attention to even know what's going on. Also, let's see, the VSBA conference, the ANTC meeting, we had a presentation by the carpentry instructor. I think it's called carpentry. Woo!
Building trades.
Building trades, carpentry. He did a really nice job, and he's very passionate about this new class that's just being offered this year. Right? It's come back. We had it a long time ago. I think it's come back. Let's see. Yes, the parade. I walked and handed out or threw out some candy. That was awesome to see students, see a lot of our students as I walked. That was nice. This past Thursday night, I went to the winter concert and enjoyed hearing the chorus and the band. And I was encouraged to see an increase. It seemed like an increase in numbers in the chorus and band. Yay. And yes, the beginning band. Room for improvement. Well, then you hear the high school band and you're like, oh, there you go. Look how much they've improved. Yeah. I attended that. I'm planning to attend the wrestling meet on this Wednesday and then home basketball game Thursday night. So lots happening. So yes, I think that's all my notes.
All right. As someone who is historically verbose, I will keep this very short. I just want to say thank you to everybody in District 5, to everyone in Amelia County for entrusting me with this important work that I've been doing the past 4 years. And I think now more than ever, it's so important to pour into our young people. I think we need to keep prioritizing creativity and innovation and civic engagement. And I just ask that you remember that our children are people and not data points on a spreadsheet. But I trust that this board will continue to advocate for our kiddos. And even though it has been a weird, wild ride, it has been an absolute joy to serve with you all. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Are there any announcements? Any new business? Might there be a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Thank you, Dr. Garrity, and a second from Ms. Fletcher. All right. All those in favor, wave good night.
Good night.
Thanks, y'all.
Gotta slam that soon.